बात नहीं सुनो और अरे नमस्कार राज, कैसे हैं? ठीक। कंट्रीब्यूट कुछ करूँ या नहीं आए?
नमस्ते, अ वेरी गुड इवनिंग टू ऑल ऑफ यू। मैं पूजा महेश्वरी, शोध दिल्ली कार्यकर्ता, अपने ऑनरेबल गेस्ट और यहाँ पर उपस्थित ऑडियंस का शोध दिल्ली और वुमेन स्टडीज एंड डेवलपमेंट सेंटर के बिहाफ पर हार्दिक स्वागत करती हूँ। आज का कार्यक्रम शोध दिल्ली और WSDC के कोलैबोरेशन में करवाया जा रहा है। जैसे कि हम सभी जानते हैं, आज हम यहाँ सभी रानी दुर्गावती जी की 500वीं जयंती को मनाने के उपलक्ष्य में इकट्ठा हुए हैं, जो कि मध्यकालीन भारत की महान वीरांगना थी तथा जिन्होंने एक महान जीवन जीने के साथ साथ एक महान राज्य का निर्माण भी किया। अब मैं कार्यक्रम को आगे बढ़ाते हुए दीप प्रज्वलन के लिए हमारे ऑनरेबल स्पीकर्स रजनी हबी मैम, उमेश कदम सर, युतिका मिश्रा मैम और हमारे बीच शोध भारत के कन्वीनर शशांक जी और शोध दिल्ली की कन्वीनर श्रेया जी और WSDC से नूपुर मैम भी उपस्थित हैं। मैं उनको WSDC के बिहाफ पर इनवाइट करना चाहूँगी। मैम प्लीज। साथ ही में सरस्वती वंदना के लिए सुहा रॉय, जो कि शहीद भगत सिंह शहीद राजगुरु कॉलेज से आई हैं, उन्हें इनवाइट करना चाहूँगी। कार्यक्रम को आगे बढ़ाते हुए मैं शोध दिल्ली कार्यकर्ता ऋषभ जी को बुलाना चाहूंगी, जो हमें कार्यक्रम के बारे में संक्षिप्त में जानकारी देंगे।
नमस्ते सभी को, मेरा नाम ऋषभ राज है और मैं शोध दिल्ली का कार्यकर्ता हूँ और मैं आज का विषय सभी लोगों के सामने रखूंगा, जिसका टाइटल है रानी दुर्गावती, द वॉरियर क्वीन विद अनडिफीटेड सोल। So as we all know that yesterday was the 500th birth anniversary of Rani Durgavati. To introduce her life and her achievements, I'll read the concept note for the program, introduce her to the audience and everyone present here. So Bharat's golden history is replete with numerous stories of struggles against not merely the foreign rulers, but also against the attack on Bharatiya principles through foreign impositions and on our civilizational, cultural, and social traditions. The medieval history of Bharat showcases that the Hindu dynasties of Bharat did not surrender to Islamic rulers, even in the most challenging circumstances, to protect their religion, society, and culture. Women have been critical players in heralding Bharat's self-deterministic principles by preserving the cultural and social aspects and leading political war against alien rulers. One such profound example is the story of Mata's courageous daughter Rani Durgavati. Queen Durgavati was born in Kalanjar in present-day Uttar Pradesh on the auspicious day of Durga Ashtami on October 5th, 1524. She was fearless as Durga, exhibiting selfless service to her fellow subjects, and thus was named Durgavati. Rani's father was one of the greatest rulers of Chandel dynasty. He was one of the kings who defeated Mahmud of Ghazni. He also advocated the construction of temples of Khajuraho in Chhatarpur district of Madhya Pradesh. Due to her brave character, Queen Durgavati used to devote maximum time to learning the art of warfare. Hence, she spent most of her time with her father. She was particularly interested in hunting and learning political skills from her father. She also helped her father in running the kingdom's administration. She was married to Dalpat Shah, son of the famous Mon king Sangram Shah of Garha Katana kingdom. However, unfortunately, Dalpat Shah died and Queen Durgavati became the state's ruler by placing her son Veer Narayan on the throne. Durgavati's life is a lesson to all the people of Bharat, especially for women of today's times. The brave daughter of nation, Queen Durgavati, was a great administrator, a born leader, a loving mother, and a mighty warrior who fought and defeated the Mughals. After becoming the ruler, she shifted the capital from Sindhurgarh fort to Chauragarh, which was situated amidst hills, forests, and drains, and by doing so, she tightened the fort security. Through such efforts, Queen Durgavati consolidated her kingdom, Garha Katana, and proactively suppressed the rebellions. Under her supervision, the empire reached new heights of prosperity. She was a visionary leader and kept the people's interests at the center. The queen advocated the construction of reservoirs in the kingdom. Her love towards learning and preservation of cultural echoes of Bharat is supported by the fact that she acknowledged the establishment of Pustimar cult at Garha by Acharya Vithalnath. By 1564, Asaf Khan, a Mughal governor, attacked the Garha Katana kingdom. Queen Durgavati planned the attack to fight the Mughal army fearlessly. The courageous queen led an army of around 5,000 men, trapping enemy troops from all sides and successfully defeating the Mughals. However, the following day of the attack, another set of Mughal soldiers with heavy artillery attacked the army led by Durgavati. This time, the valiant queen sacrificed her life with honor and chose to kill herself rather than die at the hands of the Mughals. Queen Durgavati is one of the numerous courageous women in Bharat's history who not only developed her kingdom and showcased excellent political skills during her reign, but also fought against external invaders with gallantry and wisdom and won many wars. Most importantly, Queen Durgavati's sacrifice challenged the Mughals' might, especially at the time of Akbar. However, the dominant historical narratives in the country's post-independence era have pushed many such instances of selfless love and devotion towards protecting the motherland to the periphery. Therefore, it is time that we revisit history and give women like Rani Durgavati their historical due. She stands out as a strong and inspiring woman in Bharat's history. She built a large and efficient army and during her reign did many works in her kingdom for the public welfare, including constructing many temples, buildings, and dharmshalas. This year, October 5th, marks the 500th birth anniversary of Queen Durgavati. This occasion serves as an excellent opportunity to remember and recall the heroic story of Queen Durgavati, to correct the decades of historical negligence, of ignoring the selfless sacrifice of many such sons and daughters of Bharat Mata. Queen Durgavati epitomizes courage, integrity, and selfless service to the motherland until one's last breath, and inspire Bharat's youth to make meaningful contributions to nation building. Therefore, So Delhi is attempting to remember and celebrate the bravery, courage, and selfless spirit embodied by Rani Durgavati towards Bharat by organizing a talk on her life history and the relevance of her courage and strength in shaping today's Bharat. Thank you, everyone. Now I would like to welcome Medhaji and Hastaji to moderate the session and carry forward.
धन्यवाद मिश्र जी। और मेरा नाम हर्षिता पांडे है। नमस्ते आप सभी को, और इस कार्यक्रम को हम आगे बढ़ाएंगे हमारे साथ।
नमस्ते आप सभी को, मेरा नाम नेहा सिंह है और हम दोनों
जी आज के कार्यक्रम के लिए we have esteemed speakers for today's session, and we are truly grateful to have Payal Makobam. Payal Makobam is chairperson WSDC Women's Studies and Development Center, University of Delhi. She is also principal Shahid Rajguru College of Applied Sciences for Women and also serving as director for School of Open Learning. She has excelled through her leadership and administrative skills, and she has been head of various institutions. However, I have been informed that Professor Payal ma'am welcomes us all, and she regrets to inform that she will not be able to join us because of her prior commitments. But still, we also have among us Rajni Abhi ma'am. Ma'am, welcome. And ma'am did her graduation in English Literature from Miranda House College, and later she pursued her legal education from the Faculty of Law, Delhi University, and was a gold medalist both in LLB and LLM. She did her PhD in law from University of Delhi, focusing on consumer law, and is now serving as a professor at the prestigious Faculty of Law, University of Delhi. Ma'am has also been a member of Municipal Corporation Delhi from 2007 to 2012, Deputy Chairperson Standing Committee, Municipal Corporation of Delhi, and Mayor Delhi 2011 and 12, and also member of North Delhi Municipal Corporation. Apart from her renowned leadership skills, ma'am has published various academic articles in reputed journals and has also been a visiting professor at the Beijing Institute of Technology, Beijing, China, and visiting professor at Nanjing University of Aeronautics and Astronautics at China. Now I would request Shri Shashank Tiwari ji, National in Charge, Shod, and Assistant Professor at BCAC College, University of Delhi, to felicitate Rajni Abhi ma'am. तालियों के साथ एक बार स्वागत करिए।
मैं जब ग्रेजुएशन स्टूडेंट के तौर पे दिल्ली पहली बार आया था, तो मैम उस समय दिल्ली की मेयर थी, और मुझे दिल्ली में अपना पहला पुरस्कार मैम के हाथ से ही मिला था उस समय।
We also have gracious presence of Professor Umesh Ashok Kadam, who is an eminent name in the discipline of historical studies. He is a professor of medieval Indian history and early modern history at the Center for Historical Studies, Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. He specializes in history of Deccan and Western India. He has been former member secretary, Indian Council of Historical Research, New Delhi. Professor Kadam has more than 24 years of teaching and research experience. He has been recipient of various prestigious academic and administrative nominations, as well as various international and national awards and fellowships for his outstanding contribution in the field of history. Since last 2 decades, he has been visiting universities in Netherlands, France, Portugal, and United Kingdom to promote advanced research on the history of Delhi. His recent publications are Medieval India, Retracting the Past, Deccan in Transition, 1600 to 1800, European Dominance and Maratha Sovereignty, India, the Mother of Democracy, edited work, Maratha Itihas, French Maratha Sambandh, which has been printed in Hindi as well. Additionally, he has also held a number of administrative positions in addition to his work as a teacher and a researcher, including visitor nominee at the AMU in Aligarh, Dean of Students Welfare at JNU, ERIC at NCRT, to name just a few. We welcome you, sir. In this order, I will Dr. Smita Sundaram ma'am, Assistant Professor, Department of Environmental Studies, Zakir Hussain College, good evening, to felicitate Professor Kadam. Last but not the least, we also have Professor Yuthika Mishra with us. Ma'am is a professor of history at the Vivekanand College, University of Delhi. She has been teaching for more than 30 years now. She has presented papers and talks at various national and international conferences. She has also attended various international conferences and seminars in the International Congress of Historical Sciences, which is held every 5 years, and has attended several national and international conferences to promote historical research and development. Her field of specialization is modern Indian history, and areas of interest are women and family law, marriage and community studies, women's movements, and contemporary studies. Her publications include articles titled The Indian National Movement and Women's Issues and Raja Mahendra Pratap, A Zealous Revolutionary 1919 to 1946. She has also contributed essays to various Delhi University publications. She has also been associated with various history projects of the NCERT since 2003. She is the executive of AIWC and Ujjwal Women's Association and is the vice president of latter. Her publications include Tribals and Freedom Movement in India and Hindu Women and Legislative Reforms, a discourse on marriage. To felicitate her, I invite Shri Rituraj sir, who is Assistant Professor at University of Delhi. इस कार्यक्रम को आगे बढ़ाने से पहले हमारे बीच कुछ खास परिचय हैं जिनका मैं उल्लेख करना चाहूँगी. We have with us Dr. Shri Shashank Durgavati ji, who is Assistant Professor at DCAC, and we also have with us Ms. Shreya Malik, who is Convener, Show Delhi.
कार्यक्रम को इसी कड़ी में आगे बढ़ाते हुए मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी रजनी अभी मैम से कि आप इस सेशन को एड्रेस करें.
यहीं से.
थैंक यू.
First of all, I'm very glad to come here and thank Professor Kadam to come here, Professor Yuthika Mishra, and all the members of Shodh. Just 3 days back, I got a call from Shreya that Shodh is an organization which is working and which keeps on organizing such kind of intellectual events, and if it was possible for me to come. The very first thing which I told her was that I am the poorest candidate to be called for such a kind of thing, because I think probably I left history or didn't study history after 10th till the time it was compulsory. And I'm very pained to say that the kind of history which is taught to us in schools is not very appropriate or sufficient for any person to have a good knowledge of India or the eras which belonged to yesteryears. So the first thing which I told her was that I'll definitely come because you have invited me, and my interest in coming here was that I would learn. And this is the only reason which I have come here. I've come here to listen to Professor Umesh Kadam, who has done so much of good work. I have heard him, I have been with him in selection committees of history. Today is an opportunity for me to hear Professor Yuthika also. Rani Durgavati, whom we are celebrating today, the 500th birth anniversary of Rani Durgavati, the things which I read about her after this invitation, let me be very frank with you, that she was a woman not only of courage to defend the kingdom which she belonged to and of which she was the queen, but she protected all the people who were living there. And this is one of the qualities I feel which is a great quality for a queen. India has had a number of queens. I cannot say by birth they've been queens. Sometimes, like Rani Durgavati or like Rani Lakshmibai, they have become queens because of circumstances also. But that has not somehow diminished their value. They have shown courage. They have been very good leaders, exemplary queens, and India has had a culture, I feel, which has never been of a country also, as a country also, if we see in history also, which has ever attacked anybody. It has always fought wars where they have defended their motherland. And Queen Durgavati was also one of them. The Mughals attacked her kingdom and she defended. And she very courageously and bravely fought the battle. And this is, I think, very gender neutral in our country, whether it is a queen or whether it is a brave king, that they lay their lives for protection of their kingdom and for the motherland. This is a lesson which we should learn, and all the political implications of that and other implications, historical implications also we should understand. Whenever women are put in a position where they can rule others, they have never misused those positions. That is what we learn from history. And I am not going to say much because whatever has been said, probably that is what I have read also. So I am today, I think probably my seat would be much better if I sit there. But because it is conventional to say something, I am here as a student today, and I would be really glad to listen to two big historians who are sitting next to me. Thank you for inviting me, and I think Shodh is doing really very good work. And in any topic in which I can really positively contribute, I would definitely love to join Shodh also. Thank you so much. Thank you.
थैंक यू सो मच मैम आपके काइंड वर्ड्स के लिए। वो हम शोध के सभी जितने कार्यकर्ता हैं, सब लोग हैं, हम सबको एक इंस्पिरेशन प्रोवाइड करेगा ऐसे ही और आगे कार्यक्रम करने के लिए। और हमारे बीच उमेश अशोक कदम सर हैं, प्रोफेसर उमेश सर। सो मैं उनको निवेदन करूँगी कि आप कार्यक्रम को सर आगे बढ़ाएं और हमारे कार्यक्रम को असिस्ट करें।
Is it okay before I speak before my senior?
सर आपका विषय है ना, तो मॉडर्निस्ट हो वैसे।
सर थोड़ा इतिहास से हम शुरू करते हैं, फिर हम एक बार कॉन्टेम्परेरी रेलेवेंस।
I will take permission from my senior.
Excuse me, sir. The podium doesn't have microphone.
नहीं, मेरी आवाज़ पहुँच जाएगी।
सर की है। ओके।
हम लोग सब पढ़ा के अपने गले इतने वो कर चुके हैं माइक।
वहाँ बैठ के बात नहीं कर पाऊँगा। And I am not going behind the podium, or my feet are not shaking.
एक बार
Just for
पुनः
convenience, I am using the podium.
एक बार पुनः तालियों के साथ स्वागत। Over to you, sir.
Let me, at the instance, first congratulate the team of Shodh. Because I met all the members of Shodh here somewhere in February, when Shodh for the first time was celebrating International Mother Language Day. And there was a very wonderful program which was being organized by Team Shodh. And today I am here again as they have invited me. So let me thank Ms. Shreya Malik ji, who is the Delhi State Convener for SHOD. Let me thank Dr. Nupur Gosai ji, Mr. Ruturaj Anand ji, Mr. Rishabh Raj ji, Ms. Arshita Pandey ji, Ms. Pooja Maheshwari ji, Dr. Shashank ji, my friend who is assistant professor at DSSC College and who is also the national convener, Alok ji from JNU and he is working now in Hiroshima, who is also the convener. And let me thank Anand Srivastav ji and Bhai Sahab Praful Akhan ji, because they are the pillars behind the whole idea of show. I also thank the chairman of today's program for this session, Professor Rajni Abhiji, for elevating my position as a historian. I am a student rather than a historian, and whatever I have learned from the works of Professor Vikaji, who is also my senior in history. I can see there are some senior people sitting over here from various colleges, research students, and of course, we are not forgetting all those who have joined on the virtual model with us. So everybody from all places are welcome, and let us today try to understand something about not about history, because I would rather say let us understand something about Itihas. Because history is something which came to us only after the 19th century. That is from the Rankian kind of an history or a Nehru kind of an history, where they came out with the idea that no document, no history. So document nahi hai, so history nahi. And then Ranke went on, because he was a German scholar, he went on saying in German language, he said, he spelled out Vision Schwab. So whatever Ranke was trying to speak out was about scholarship and not about documented history. And people did not understand it, and then you have two different worlds of acts which were being represented in history and historiography which went on with the intentions and motives of historians. And it is the same case. The same case happened to India. Now, in India, there are many scholars who go on saying that whatever the best was being achieved by the Indians was in the classical age, and that is the ancient period of India. And there is another group of scholars who go on saying that whatever we have been achieving as can be showcased to the world is through modern Indian history that comes from the 19th century onwards or by the end of the 18th. And they don't take any pride in understanding what happened exactly between this space of 8th century to 18th century. तो ये जो 10 decades है, दशक जो है, ये बहुत ही important. And then we just try to overshadow them by understanding only the ancient and the modern. Try to understand the medieval period, because it is the only period where we try to experiment on all scales. We changed from a classical age and went to a modern period, which we understand as modernity achieved through the European lens. Why I am saying all these things? Because modernity is not a concept which came into the Indian mind only with the coming of modern history as being expressed by the Europeans under their understanding of humanism and Renaissance. The idea of humanism, Renaissance and modernity itself was being seeded and perceived in the medieval world of India. Indian world is not a world where Islam came to India or Christianity came to India, and then whatever happened to India was either British India history or either it was Mughal India history or Sultanate history of India. Now, the representation of Indian history is very, very Eurocentric, very, very North-centric, very, very Islamic-centric, wherever it can be done, and then we have been reduced to understand Indian history to regional history, trans-regional history, or successor states of all the existing world within the middle. Why middle has been appropriated is a question. Now, the whole of middle Indian history is a huge ulcer for Indian history, which needs to be operated properly. What we lost understanding is why we are losing such characters to understand such personalities within history, because this is not the only one personality. I can give you a list of personalities. No? In India, we have Rani Durgavati. In the similar way, you have Harkabai, you have Jizabai, mother of Shivaji, you have Mata Bhagkaur, you have Onaki Obava, you have Keladi Kittur Channamma, you have Belwadi Mallamma, you have Abakka Chauta, you have Ruddamma Devi, you have Rani Durgavati, Rani Tarabai. Now, Rani Tarabai is one queen, the wagon queen of India, of Marathas, when Marathas were ruling from Atak to Katak. And she was the only queen of the Marathas when there was no Chhatrapati. She was wife of Chhatrapati Rajaram. And after the death of Chhatrapati Rajaram, she single-handedly was trying to fight it out with the Mughals in the great Mughal Maratha war for 25 years. You can understand this. Aurangzeb, he had to leave Delhi and he had to be in Deccan for 25 years. And he was reduced to dust over there. He could not come back to Delhi. So, we don't talk about Rani Tarabai. Rani Lakshmibai we do talk about, or we do talk about Ahilyabai Holkar, another this Naiki Devi, and you have Rani Chennamma Bhairava Devi, and you have Rani Avantika Bai, and you have Velu Nachi. Now, why these characters have faded away from the canvas of medieval Indian history, and why these women queens are being underestimated even after India achieving 70 years of independence? What is wrong? Now there is a huge machinery which worked within Indian historians, whether there are bodies like SCRTs, or there are bodies like state boards, or there are bodies like NCRT, and bodies like ICHR, who propagated and canvassed a certain kind of an history which was more historiographical oriented, which shaped itself into the understanding of the Orientalist world and the Occidental world, and they were very happy in promoting such kind of theories. What happens to these histories? Why do we say that we are unable to trace anything about Rani Durgavati or Rani Tarabai or any other most important personality and character in India? Where do we actually fail? We fail to understand the episteme. The episteme is being changed. The art of manufacturing the theory of history is something which we need to reorient ourselves. When I say I am not going to talk about history, but I would like rather to understand everything through the canvas and the idea of the Indian knowledge system of Itihas tradition, then I say Darshan, Gyan and Vigyan. These are the three things, foundational things. If we understand these foundational things, then we will be able to understand everything what happened to us. पितृ पक्ष चल रहा है अभी पितृ पक्ष 15 दिन चलेगा, उसके बाद नवरात्रि आएगी. तो पितृ पक्ष में अगर हम इनके लिए आज वंदना कर रहे हैं, तो हम सिर्फ अपने पितरों के लिए नहीं कर रहे हैं, हम पूरे भारत के पितरों के लिए कर रहे हैं. That is also very important because they gave us an insight. Somebody gave us birth, but there are people who has given us insight. Like in this world of 8th century to 18th century, the dynamic insight was being given by the Bhakti movement. And then as historians we went on to divide, categorize the Bhakti movement into दक्षिण की भक्ति मूवमेंट अलग है, दक्षिण की अलग है, उत्तर भारत की अलग है. And we take pride in understanding everything which is Eurocentric. But we don't take pride in understanding how many times we have defeated external forces, and that we are not people who talk about assimilative history. the Christian world which came to India or the Islamic world which came to India, I am not targeting any religion, please. These are two different kinds of religions which visited India, which came and settled in India in this medieval world. And whatever history they have been given to us is a history which they have written again and again as an assimilative history of India, which they try to figure out in the medieval world as a secular world. There is no idea of secular in the medieval world. The idea of secular is very, very European. In the European context, the meanings are completely different. And when the Orient tries to give us the whole understanding of secular within the medieval framework, the idea becomes to make us understand as Dharmic. No, there was no such. Either it was a very, very, it was a syncretic kind of a tradition. We within the Ityas Paribhasha, we believe in accommodation. So the medieval world accommodated, it did not assimilate. And Indian history, Ityas, Parampara, talks about accommodation. Right from the Prachin Kal to the Madhya Kal to the Arvachin Kal, it is again and again emphasizing for accommodation. Assimilation में क्या होता है? Assimilation में क्लोन बनाया जाता है कि हमने आपको अभय दिया है, बाइनरी तो रहेगी, सुपीरियरिटी और इंफीरियर की बाइनरी रहेगी, ग्रेटर देन लेसर देन की बाइनरी रहेगी एसिमिलेशन में, लेकिन क्लोन बनेगा. आपको हमारा मैंडेट स्वीकारना पड़ेगा, आप मैंडेटरी बन जाएंगे. अकोमोडेशन में इट इज नॉट वर्टिकल अरेंजमेंट, इट इज अ हॉरिजॉन्टल अरेंजमेंट एज द भक्ति मूवमेंट. द गोंड स्टेट was a federal state. Try to understand it. The Gond state is a republic state. It has not given the idea of republicanism. It is holding the idea of republicanism. प्रजासत्ताकीय दृष्टिकोण उन्होंने रखा है. The king is not autocratic. Go anywhere, go to east and go to west, everywhere you will find monarchy is autocratic. Indian monarchs are not autocratic. They never say that we are the state. Not a single king or queen within the medieval world of India has ever said that I am here with divine providence. No. ईश्वर के बाद मैं हूं ऐसा एक भी राजा नहीं कहता, एक भी रानी नहीं कही. This is what exactly you need to understand. The Arab world speaks of it. The world of the Persians speak of it. The Chaldeans speak of it. The Hittites speak of it. The Babylonians speak of it. The Europeans in medieval, they don't have an ancient history, they have a medieval history, they speak of it. And do you feel that these people like Durgavati or Durgavati's husband Dalpat or Dalpat's father or many more who were there within this medieval world, they never read anything or they were not at all, accustomed with what was happening elsewhere? We accept that they never understood anything apart from their own territories. No, they were well-read people. They had people, in their court who were men of letters who used to bring information from all quarters. They were well sounded with their spy systems and they used to get each and every information. What is happening in every corner? What are the new developments? Because their development, their work was not only to sit in the palace, and take taxes from people and enjoy the palatial life in pomp and show as it has been done by most of the European and Islamic rulers. They are very autocratic. It is the same period when again and again a history which has been given to us where we see that before the Mughals you have the Sultanate period and in between you have this Sher Shah Shuri, because Rani Durgavati's family had a very close consonance with the Sultans, with Sher Shah Suri and with the Mughals. Surrounded by 18 This is a period of the 16th century. I can read out to you what was happening exactly. I can tell you exactly in 1525 how many players were there in India. So just try to find out, figure out what India looks like. Ekdam top, Kashmir. Then you have an Afghan empire going down to the lower Gangetic belt. Then you have Sindh and Multan. You have Gujarat, which is known as Ladakh. You have Rajputana. You have Malwa. Then Khandesh, Bundelkhand, Gondwana is the place where Rani Durgavati is situated. You have Bengal, Orissa, Golconda, Berar, Bidar, and then you have Ahmednagar, you have Bijapur, Vijayanagar, and Ahoms. These are the players, and you need to understand the history within these 18 players. Within these 18 players, how Durgavati is very, very prominent kind of a ruler within her contemporaries. You have to evaluate her, examine her within her contemporaries, and only two dynasties can be recognized as being giving good performance, good governance, and that is on one side Ahoms, but they are contemporaries because Ahoms are ruling for more than 600 to 700 years, and you have the Gondwanas. Now the whole idea of this Gond region, Gond is a colonial terminology. Gondwana is a geographical terminology. एक geographical terminology है Gondwana, but Gond is a term which has been used by the colonial people for expressing that these are the people from the hills. That's why they use the word Gond. वो खुद को क्या कहते हैं? वो खुद को कोयतुर कहते हैं, कोई तेलुगु. Because within Gondwana, try to understand the language which is being spoken in the contemporary world. You will be able to understand. You try to understand Indian history in the medieval world, even in the 15th century, only by trying to understand Babarnama or what? अकबर का क्या है भाई? Eye, mirror. That is the only mirror. What kind of a mirror is this? A mirror which expresses only an ego. Whether it is Barani or whether it is Fazal. They are nothing more than bards. They are not storytellers. In history, you should believe the storyteller and not the bard. That is very, very important. क्योंकि सत्य भी अलग अलग है. एक असत्य है, एक अर्ध सत्य है, एक सत्य है और एक ऐतिहासिक सत्य. ऐतिहासिक सत्य की बात जब होती है तो लोगों को बुरा लगता है. And it is the job of an historian to talk about ऐतिहासिक सत्य, give the historical truth which is blunt, it is not polished. They will never like it. Because it is like the samurai sword, दोनों तरफ से उसको धार है. History is a cultural weapon if it is not being used properly. It is a cultural weapon, this should be understood. And then, in Dravidian words, because they do talk Telugu, these people, most of the people, the commoners over here, they say they are Khond, Khond, Khond. It is a tribal region, no doubt. A very exclusive tribal region, Satpuras. I don't know how many of you have visited Satpuras, but the Satpura mountain ranges are one of the best, hill ranges of India. Apart from Sahyadris and Nilgiris. अब कितने लोग कितना कहाँ घूमे मुझे पता नहीं, लेकिन आप घूमिए, गाड़ी में ना बैठ के आप पैदल घूमिए, बिना छाता लेके घूमिए, तब आपको समझ में आएगा. And if you wear your slippers, you are going to fall down. इसलिए बिना कुछ पैर में पहने यहाँ इन जंगलों में घूमिए. Then you will be able to understand and get the grip of what it would have been like because I have taken my students, PhD students मेरे जब आते हैं ना, तो मैं उनको कहता हूँ कि यहाँ यहाँ जाना है, जरूर जाना है और ऐसे ऐसे रहना है, तभी आपको पता चलेगा. Without getting that kind of a first-hand experience, you will not be able to judge. In this, I will give full marks to one Arab historian, Ibn Khaldun. बढ़िया इतिहासकार है, Arab historian. He used to take first-hand information. Now, this गोंडवाना रीजन के डायलेक्ट्स क्या हैं? Where do we miss out? इनसे देखेंगे, नहीं तो कुछ संस्कृत सोर्सेज देखेंगे, उसमें भी संस्कृत हमें पता नहीं है कि 16वीं सदी की संस्कृत क्या है. संस्कृत has changed again and again. You have to understand the paleographical value of language. It changes again and again. I have done a lot of research on French records. When I do research on French records, I cannot be happy with understanding modern French. It is of no use for me. I have to understand 15th century French, 16th century French, 17th century French, और हर एक सेंचुरी में phraseology change होती है, context change होता है. In the same way, the idea of Sanskrit is changing, the idea of Prakrits are changing, the idea of folklore and songs. You need to understand. If you are going to understand any tribal history, if you want to understand about anything about Durgavati, you will have to understand the folklore and the local memory. The memory of the people is very important. For history, we will have to find out that memory. What is in the memory? Why they are appreciating? Common people appreciate नहीं करता वैसे किसी को. देखिए, we are the cream of India. As we are learning, we are there in the higher education system. We are hardly 1.5% of Indian population, hardly. And then we go on talking about whole of India. इसने हमें इतना बड़ा लाइसेंस दिया पता नहीं है. टेट की एग्जाम करने के बाद या कुछ हमें ऐसे लगने लगता है कि we are the only people who can speak on behalf of everybody. No. They don't believe in your history. Common people go anywhere, they laugh at you. Why they are doing so? Because they don't find out their history over there. And they know the local values, ethos and ethics of their own history, which we have misjudged. So when you go to the Jabalpur region or the Satpuras, you will never ever understand. The people will say you don't understand anything. You don't know Rani. अहिर गोंड क्या बात कर रहा है ये आपको पता नहीं है. अहिरनी एक अलग ही तरीका है बात करने का, और उसमें भी सिफर है, कुछ स्क्रिप्ट है और कुछ देवनागरी में है और कुछ संस्कृत में है. And then you will have to evaluate all these sources. And when you evaluate all these sources, you will be able to find out the real Durgavati. Because speaking over here only about battles of Durgavati and there she is there with ये तलवार लेके हाथ में खड़ी है, रंचंडी का अवतार है, दुर्गा का प्रारूप है, that is not her history. वो हल भी लिए हुए हैं, वो हाथ में सोने के सिक्के भी लोगों को दे रही है, उसके हाथ में लिटरेरी वर्क्स भी उतने ही इंपॉर्टेंट है. She is admirer of literary world also. How many of us know that? वो खुद में एक पंडित भी है जो डिस्कोर्सेज में बैठ रही है, दूसरे लोगों के साथ वो अब विचारों का आदान प्रदान कर रही है, डिबेट कर रही है. You have to see that Durgavati also, not only that Durgavati who is sitting on the horseback just because she has lost her husband, and that is happening in the last years. What is happening between the earlier years of this 40 years of life of Durgavati and how Durgavati becomes a personality? A Chandel queen who is a Rajput princess has a wonderful love story, an approach, a smooth, silent love story with a Gond prince who is a tribal. आज अगर ये कोई करना चाहेगा तो घर से भी आज बहुत कुछ हो जाता है, गड़बड़ हो जाती है. People don't like. और लोगों के मन में खाक का मतलब कुछ अलग ही है. उनको लगता है खाक का मतलब ये खून करने वाले. देखो खाप पंचायत आर डेमोक्रेटिक इसेंस ऑफ इंडिया, उल्टा पुल्टा समझ लेते हैं हम सब लोग. दैट इज द प्रॉब्लम. So we have to understand कि इनका एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में क्या था, हाउ मच एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन शी वाज एबल टू डू, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन शी वाज डूइंग, व्हाई शी वाज प्लेइंग अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल. Try to understand the medieval world from the 8th to 18th century and just get a record of famines and natural disasters and calamities. आइन में नेचुरल डिजास्टर्स, कैलामिटीज, famines, ड्राउट्स के लिए इन सारे मुगल राजाओं ने क्या क्या किया, कितने बेनोवेलेंट रहे. क्या इन्होंने 85% टैक्स कम करके कभी 40% बनाया क्या छत्रपति शिवाजी की तरह, या दुर्गावती की तरह 33%? कभी इन्होंने कर्ज दिया हल चलाने वाले के लिए, सीड्स दिए, भैंसे दिए, बैल दिए? Just because she loved one poetry, she gave away 1 crore mohar gold coins. Durgavati is giving her. और दलपत शाह, who is the husband of दुर्गावती, ये जो बीरबल है ना अकबर के कोर्ट में, ये दलपत शाह के अंडर काम करता था. ये गड़बड़ कर दिया, he was been thrown away. उसके बाद वो वहां जाके नवरत्न बनी. And then we talk so highly about Birbal, but nobody is there to talk about the mistakes of Birbal which happened in the Gondwana. इनके एडवाइजर, चीफ एडवाइजर दुर्गावती के और संग्राम सिंह के और दलपत शाह के चीफ एडवाइजर, such a smart person. And when he goes to the Akbar's court, Akbar is astonished to see his wits, mental wits. Surprised. ये आदमी कैसा है? ऐसे लोग मेरे पास क्यों नहीं? I'm just giving you small instances because I have been given 20 minutes. And let me again tell you that this language itself is being spoken, this whole Gondwana region जो है, मध्य प्रदेश, गुजरात, तेलंगाना, महाराष्ट्र, छत्तीसगढ़, आंध्र प्रदेश. Now another part of these Gonds is that they trace their lineage from Ravana. ये भी है इनमें. They are tracing their lineage from there. कुछ areas में आप देखेंगे कि and they say that we were fighting against so and so, and they have the Sanskrit sources, and later on they come into the Hindu fold. Slowly the tribals are coming into the Hindu fold, and this is being talked through the folk songs and the local memory. Now, what is she doing? I expressed something about the famines, about tax, about the federal structure, about the village administration, about the patronage she was being given. The biggest thing what they contributed is about agriculture, how agriculture has to be done. And what do you need for agriculture? You need water resources. See all the medieval kings, Indian kings, unexplored. ICHR में मैं जब था तो 8th century से 18th century तक unexplored Indian dynasties पे हमने एक exhibition बनाया, बहुत बड़ा exhibition. I request whoever can please get this exhibition sent to all places in India. Very important exhibition which talks about various dynasties in India. और एक डायनेस्टी, मुगल जो है ना, मुगल 220 साल की राज की, कितना है 220 डायरेक्ट. इनसे ज्यादा तो वो बहमनी लोगों ने किया, बिदर शाह ने, बहमन शाह ने तो बाद में. लेकिन एक डायनेस्टी ऐसी इंडिया की जिसने 900 साल, 1200 साल, 2000 साल, एक डायनेस्टी आज भी चल रही है. Why didn't the people revolt against these dynasties? अगर 800 साल चल रही है, 700 साल चल रही है, तो रिवोल्ट भी होना चाहिए. You don't get revolts in these dynasties. There was no revolt in this रानी दुर्गावती's या संग्राम सिंह के यहाँ या 57 महल्स. It's not a joke. मराठाओं के एक महल में एक फोर्ट के अंडर 100 किलोमीटर का एरिया आता था टैक्सेशन के लिए. यहाँ 57 महल से किसी के पास भी इतने 57 महल्स नहीं. You can just understand how much of revenue could have been collected and how much of surplus was there and what kind of prosperity could have been there in the Gondwana region itself. And why the Sher Shah Suri, why the Mughals are interested to penetrate? Because without penetrating into Gondwana, he will not be able to penetrate in Orissa and Bengal, or he will not go, as far to Ahoms. So they are trying to attack Ahoms also from that side. And then they want to enter into the Deccan. In medieval times, Deccan, apart from Gondwana, Deccan another is a very cultural identity, geographical identity, where you have to understand that Deccan is the world. North India is not the world, Deccan is the world. How much of educational institutions were being raised up under this dynasty? The people in Gondwana, nobody knows. We don't want any accounts for that. Why are we not interested to keep up those accounts? We need to keep up those accounts. What kind of syllabus was being done? What kind of teachers were being brought into these universities or institutions? Nasik, Trambakeshwar, Vai, Benares. And then you go up into the Himalayan belt and try to understand all these things, smaller things, you'll be able to. And then the agro and forest surplus which was being taken care of by Durgavati in nearly 20-23 years needs to be recorded minutely. These things should be recorded minutely. Then only you will be able to talk about the pride of the Indian kings and queens. It's not about 7 battles हुई मुगलों के साथ, 6 जीते 1 हारे. अहोम्स को तो हरा ही नहीं, अहोम्स को तो हरा ही नहीं पाए. हर बार पीटे, बहुत अच्छे से पीटे. And there is one personality, छत्रसाल बुंदेला. ये personality इतनी important है because he has seen Chhatrapati Shivaji and he went on to see Bajirao first. इतने साल जिए वो. So whatever is happening elsewhere, all the correspondences are going. Ahoms के correspondences है 17th century के मराठों के साथ. We are unaware of this. Nobody knows about this. Lachit Barphukan is writing down, and they are trying to understand everything about the Maratha state from the stories and poetries of Undefeated. Now let us immediately go into some other details. Okay, इतनी मजेदार बात करते हैं. देखिए ये लोग खाने के बारे में एक टेम्पल रिकॉर्ड है. गोंडवाना क्या कहते हैं, फोकलोर कहते हैं कि चैत महीने में गुड़, ज्यादा से ज्यादा क्या करना है, गुड़ का प्रयोग. फिर कहते हैं कि बैसाखी में तिल, ये सरप्लस बढ़ाया जा रहा है. दिस इज हाउ दे आर कल्टिवेटिंग क्रॉप पैटर्न. देखो इनका, चैत के महीने में लता, अषाढ़ी में बेल, सावन में साग, भादो माही में कुंवर करेला और कार्तिक में दही. So accordingly they are investing their ideas into these kinds of agro products. Now to understand the mentality of these people, they are very much in tune with nature. आजकल हम क्या बात करते हैं, क्या करना चाहते हैं? नहीं, ऑर्गेनिक तो है और ऑर्गेनिक सब कर रहे हैं, बट ऑर्गेनिक थिंकिंग नहीं कर रहे. पानी मिनरल पी रहे हैं, तेल डबल रिफाइन खा रहे हैं, लेकिन सोचना रिफाइन नहीं है. दैट इज द प्रॉब्लम. एग्जैक्टली हिस्ट्री करके सब यूरोसेंट्रिक हो रहा है. इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टम कहा जा रहा है, लेकिन we really don't know what is Indian knowledge system if you are not able to understand the vernaculars. How will you be able to understand? Open your eyes. मिडवेल में कितनी भाषा बोली जाती थी, एंशिएंट में कितनी बोली जाती थी, उसमें क्या क्या लिखा गया है, वो जब तक हम पढ़ेंगे नहीं, अंडरस्टैंड नहीं करेंगे, we will not be able to understand the Indian language. That is the problem. ठीक है? Now they are investing heavily in the Costa community, which is a weaving community. बहुत ही कलरफुल साड़ीज कॉटन की और वुलन की बन रही है यहाँ, ह्यूज मार्केट, सरप्लस है, सिक्के हर जगह से आ रहे हैं, गोल्ड, यू गेट ऑल काइंड्स ऑफ गोल्ड कॉइंस कमिंग इनटू गोंडवाना रीजन. In the similar sequence, you have to understand how many products, items are going manufactured from the Gondwana region to other places. So it is a thriving economy. Why I am telling you this? Because वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमी में इंडिया का शेयर 23% है. कितना? मिडवेल वर्ल्ड में, मिडवेल वर्ल्ड में 8 to 18 सेंचुरी में वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमी में 23% का शेयर इंडिया का अकेले का है, और एंशिएंट में 33%. जैसे ही मुगल आ जाते हैं और जैसे ही यूरोपियंस आ जाते हैं, इट सिंक्स डाउन टू 2%, 1%, 0.5. So understand these things within these, very minute lines. And then ऐसा नहीं है कि इंडियन किंग्स या राजाज भी दुर्गावती के लिए प्रॉब्लमेटिक नहीं थे, ये सारे तो थे, लेकिन बहुत सारे राजाज थे, उनके आसपास के इंटरनल फ्यूड्स भी थे, बट शी वाज टेकिंग केयर ऑफ ईच एंड एवरीथिंग. आई कैन नेम देम. दीज आर द राजाज ऑफ गढ़ा, गरला, हरिया, सालवानी, धमाकी, खटोला, मड़गा, मंडाला, देऊर, लालच. ये भी अंदर से प्रॉब्लम कर रहे हैं, अंदर का शत्रु भी है, नहीं है ऐसा. Understand, and you need to understand what is being said about Durgavati in a contemporary source. एक contemporary source है, समय लोग करके, उसमें क्लियर कट लिखा है, ये पद्मनाभ मिश्र भट्टाचार्य लिखे हैं, ये दुर्गावती द beloved king of King Durgavati was generous, benevolent and full of exalted qualities. Full of exalted qualities. She was not only a statesman. We take pride in showcasing Rani Lakshmibai, Ahilyabai, या दुर्गावती, ताराबाई, जिजाबाई as statesmen. No, they are not only statesmen, they are wonderful administrators. They are women of high quality. They are well read, and above all, they are very, very sensitive towards understanding the problems of their subjects. And hence, we should, take lot of pride in understanding our own histories. In understanding our own histories, in the sense, through the Ityas tradition and not the European tradition of history. So, I am really thankful to all of you for giving me an opportunity to be with you. Whatever I have said may or may not be right or wrong. So, if you feel that there is something which is being said wrong, then it's my fault. If you feel that whatever I have said is right, then it is whatever has been said by earlier scholars. Okay? Because I have understood everything from the works of earlier scholars and sources. And I would also like to promote my recent work which has come out, and ये book का भी release होगा. हमारे मित्र है तिरोडीमल कॉलेज में 20 तारीख को we are going to release this book at the hands of my mentor प्रोफेसर दिलबाग सिंह जी. क्योंकि आप लोग बहुत बात करते हैं, बार बार इधर उधर मैंने सुना है कि मिडवेल में ये है वो है, प्रॉब्लम्स है, सब एक जगह नहीं आ रहे हैं. तो we have tried to bring it out at one go, and this is, I have not named it at मिडवेल हिस्ट्री, ऐसा नाम नहीं लिखा है, मैंने लिखा है मिडवेल इंडिया, retracting the past, means trying to correct what is being said which we feel is false. इसलिए retracting the past ऐसे किया है. इसमें मेरे 3-4 PhD students ने भी काफी help की है मेरी. One of the students is sitting over here, Rani Purohit, and we have Anvit, and we have Ritika also, and the person another who helped me a lot in this whole idea is Deepak is also sitting, Dr. Deepak Sodas is also there. So once again, I thank all of you for giving me this opportunity to speak out on a very, very important fabric of Indian history. It gives me a lot of pride and honor to speak anything about this great personality, Rani Durgavati. Thank you very much.
थैंक यू सो मच सर. अभी आज हमारे बीच में एक परिचय है जो मैं बताना चाहूँगी आप सबको. प्रोफेसर प्रवीण गर्ग जी, जो कि हमारे पूर्व एबीवीपी के फॉर्मर प्रेसिडेंट भी रह चुके हैं, प्रिंसिपल हैं स्वामी श्रद्धानंद कॉलेज में, दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में. मैं चाहूँगी कि हमारी पूर्व शोध दिल्ली की को कन्वीनर डॉक्टर आंचल सेठी जी आएँ और उनको फेलिसिटेट करें.
तो हमारे यहीं पर केमिस्ट्री के फैकल्टी हैं.
Thank you so much, sir, and thank you so much, ma'am, for I would like to now invite Professor Yutika Mishra ma'am to address the gathering. एक बार जोरदार तालियां.
Thank you so much for calling me here, and it's always a pleasure to be here on the podium of Shodh.
And this is the 5th occasion we are blessed to have you.
Yeah, I was also trying to count, but I was unable. Thanks for reminding. I'm here for the 5th time, and as I said, जैसे ही वो बोलती है श्रेया आप हाँ क्या करना है, कौन सा टॉपिक है. So I'm equally enthused by your energy, I think, and it's so good to hear, especially the topics that you take. They really like me. So congratulations again, and सभी को बधाई कि आपने इतना महत्वपूर्ण विषय ले लिया आज, जो हमारा आज़ादी का 75 वर्ष किसी अननोन वॉरियर्स के लिए डिवोटेड है. तो सारा का सारा इस तरह के ही सेमिनार्स में होता है, फलीभूत हो रहा है. और आप लोग जिस तरह से इसे ऑर्गेनाइज करते हैं, इतने अच्छे स्पीकर्स बुला के मेरे दोनों पहले के स्पीकर्स ने इतना इंसाइटफुल बातें आपने कही मैम. यू सेड यू नो लाइक यू हैव स्टडीड हिस्ट्री, बट आपके जो क्वेश्चन है उससे पता चलता है द इंटरेस्ट दैट यू हैव एंड व्हाट यू कैन डू. इनफैक्ट आई वाज टेलिंग हर, यहाँ जरूरत है हिस्ट्री को अनलर्न करने. the way we have learned it is problem. सारी कहानी ही शायद वहीं से शुरू होती है. और जैसे सर ने इतना सार गर्भित, मैं तो कहूँगी, मुझे मन कर रहा था और सुनती जाऊँ और वो भी सुना दें कि क्या, because I was not actually worried about my time, or I just wanted to hear, not being a medievalist, I wanted to hear what medieval history is. And thanks to show that I studied a lot on this. ये thesis, वो शिलालेख कहाँ क्या है, तो समझ में ये आता है कि आपने ये बड़ा अच्छा टॉपिक भी दिया है सेमिनार का, the undefeated warrior queen. She was, the whole focus is on her fighting skills, no doubt. And being undefeated, and the warrior queen, the one who is being known for fighting. Indeed, but जैसा कि प्रोफेसर कदम जी ने बताया कि उनके तो और भी काम थे, और जब मैंने पढ़ा तो समझ में आया, अच्छा हाँ, she was doing reforms, she was so strategically intelligent. स्ट्रैटेजी क्या करनी चाहिए, किस तरह से, जब आप वो छापामार युद्ध की बात आ रही है तो इतनी सी सेना हमारी वहाँ अकबर की इतनी बड़ी सेना खड़ी है, तो कैसे, कितनी बार उसने बहादुर को हरा दिया, कितने सारे युद्ध किए जिसमें कभी नहीं हारी. तो जरूर कहीं न कहीं शी इज अ ग्रेट मिलिट्री पर्सन. आई एम श्योर मिलिट्री हिस्ट्री एक सब्जेक्ट है डिफेंस, तो वो दे आई एम श्योर दे मस्ट बी रीडिंग हर. अगर नहीं तो आप लोग बताइए उनको कि जो स्ट्रैटेजी है, जिस तरह से इन्होंने अपने फॉर्मेशंस किए, इतने छोटे से ग्रुप को लेके वो सबके हाउ समथिंग आपको शिवाजी की भी याद आती है उसको पढ़ के. तो ये इस तरह के जो प्रयास आपके हुए हैं, आई एम रियली ग्लैड दैट शो दिस कीपिंग स्टेप टाइम्स. 2-3 चीजें हैं. पहले तो उनका, अगर उनका लाइफ देखा जाए, रानी दुर्गावती का, यहाँ थोड़ा सा जेंडर भी लाऊं, that's my favorite subject. She defied gender roles much before anyone thought of gender. She defined. तो ये सवाल उठता है कि what is gender then? I mean, why are we hammering on gender so much? Where is it? Not in our culture, not in our traditions. तो अपने आप ही इनकी जीवनी पढ़े तो समझ में आ जाता है कि ये तो कुछ अलग ही परंपरा थी क्या हमारे देश में. महिलाएं कुछ भी जो उनको पसंद है, जो कहते हैं ना अपनी पसंद का करो, बीइंग ह्यूमन, फेमिनिज्म का वो है लोग मोटो, उनका स्लोगन है ये बीइंग ह्यूमन, वी आर दिस, वी वांट आवर राइट्स. हु केयर? शी टुक इट ऑल, शी हैड एवरीथिंग. एनीवन? So where is our traditional कि आप सती कर देते थे, आप ये काम करते. She was born in a Rajput kingdom. She had all the training which she wanted. तो अगर एक स्त्री ये कर रही है तो और भी होंगी. यहाँ मेरा एक और आपसे प्रश्न है राधर कि और रिसर्च करिए. ये तो नोन है, ये रानियाँ हैं. There are so many unknown fighters. अब ये थी तो इनके महिला फाइटर्स हैं इनके साथ, पूरी की पूरी महिला आर्मीज की बातें हम सुनते हैं इतिहास में. तो वो आर्मी की जो एक अब ये सो कॉल्ड सबॉल्टर्न लोग, सबॉल्टर्न तो ये है. आपने कहाँ सबॉल्टर्न इतिहास पढ़ा है? आपने बात तो बहुत करी सबॉल्टर्न, बट हमको नहीं पता तो चला. उसमें वो लेबर स्ट्राइक हुई, पेजेंट मूवमेंट हो गई, 2-3 चीजें वो भी फोकस फ्रॉम टॉप इस तरह से पढ़ाया गया. तो इस तरह से she was also like when she was to be married, one very important point when I teach gender, I tell them how many types of marriages do we have, in this country. We have a series of the tradition of marriages. आजकल क्या हो गया है, under Victorian sensibilities and the colonized thought processes that we have inculcated, हमने arranged marriage, love marriage तो सुनिए एक तरह की थी. और आपने क्या कभी देखा कि उसका क्या था? सबसे तो अमेजिंग इज स्वयंवर. स्वयंवर जो जिस तरह से इन्होंने अपना विवाह किया, and it was not only for the brave ladies and you go and you choose from amongst a group of men who are sitting there. So it was a ladies' right. क्या वो भूल गए? हम भूल गए क्या? वो कहाँ गया स्वयंवर का समय? मीन्स क्या मतलब है कि महिलाओं को उनके सारे अधिकार थे और उसको एक्सरसाइज करने का भी उन्हें पूरा अधिकार. ये no one was telling them sit at home and do marry this person or that person. ये अलग बात है कि दुर्गावती ने सोचा कि ये स्ट्रैटेजिकली बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट मैरिज होगी. ये भी उनके दिमाग में tying up the Rajputs with the tribals and that will make a bigger kingdom. They are close. अगर मैप में आप देखा तो कैसे महोबा और गोंड area where she was married, close there for UP and MP का. ये एक बहुत important बात देखी मैंने throughout in her life, that she was driven by very practical and very strategic considerations. Very at times मैं तो कहूँगी she was a great statesman. She knew how to conduct everything and all the affairs, not only of the state, of the army. आपने इस पर बड़ा अच्छा सवाल उठाया था कि क्यों ये विद्रोह क्यों नहीं हुआ, लोग हटना क्यों नहीं चाहते थे, वो सब रहना चाहते थे उनके अंदर. And the whole credit goes to her reforming zeal. एक बड़ी अच्छी मुझे सोर्स मिला है शोध गंगा में. I'm sure all of you are aware of that. That's easily open. पंडित रविशंकर शुक्ला यूनिवर्सिटी रायपुर में एक थीसिस लिखी गई 1990 में। रानी कोई अगर रिसर्च करना चाहे तो मैं दे भी सकती हूँ। रानी दुर्गावती युगीन गोंडवाना का राजनीतिक एवं सांस्कृतिक इतिहास। जगत बहादुर सिंह ने उनके यहाँ सर ने आपने बड़ा अच्छा वो फूड का भी इंडिकेशन, शिक्षा, कितने तरह की पाठशाला थी, संगीत, कौन कौन से संगीतज्ञ थे, यू टॉक ऑफ साहित्य, साहित्य की कौन कौन सी विधाएं थी, और उनके ये जो एविडेंसेस हैं शिलालेखों में से, पांडुलिपियों में से, सब जगह से मिलते हैं और ये सब अवेलेबल है आज भी। आप आर्काइव्स जाइए या वहाँ के लोकल जो रिकॉर्ड ऑफिसेज हैं उसमें मिलेगा। न सिर्फ ये बल्कि मिथिला के साथ उनका कनेक्शन, क्योंकि यू नो वन थिंग आई फाउंड, कितने दूर दराज से उनके पुरोहित मिथिला के थे। उन्होंने जितने भी अपने साहित्यिक और ये पुराण से जो चर्चे उनके होते थे धार्मिक और साहित्यिक, वो जो एक चीज और ध्यान दें, इट्स नॉट प्योरली धार्मिक, इट्स नॉट धर्म पर से, यू नो दैट टॉप ऑफ इट। तो वो सारे जो लिटरेरी डिस्कशंस थे वो सारे वहाँ से उनके बहुत सारे विद्वान आते थे। और इंटरेस्टिंग बात ये है कि उनका एक्सचेंज उधर से होता रहता, दूर से आते थे लोग उनके राज्य में और आगे इस तरह की चर्चे बहुत होते थे, बहुत आम बात थी। Now it is said that you know she had so many rulers under her। सर ने भी बताया कि बहुत बड़ा शासन था उनका और बहुत दूर दूर के लोग आते थे, जैसे कि दूर दूर के तक ये बसा हुआ था। I remember correctly 400 kilometers by 250 kilometers across. That's a big chunk of India in the center part. So इनके जो दक्षिण से सर ने मेंशन किया था, थाईलैंड ब्राह्मणों ने गढ़ा में आकर बसने का प्रयास, पूरी की पूरी एक टोली उनकी आई, मेरी 78 maybe more। और ये 1558 की बात है। ये प्रसिद्ध कवि पद्माकर की जीवनी में से ये कहानी ली गई थी और कैसे वो आके वहाँ बस गए और उन्होंने पूरा वहाँ लर्निंग का एक सेंटर खोल लिया। दक्षिण के ब्राह्मण उधर से ईस्ट के ब्राह्मण आ रहे हैं और टीचर्स आ रहे हैं। Now there are so many examples of her interaction with across you know the continent, Deccan के। उनका शासन प्रबंधन एक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है जिसमें मुझे मिला, जिस पर बहुत सारा उन्होंने लिखा है। कितनी सारी बावड़ियाँ, कितने सारे जलाशय, कितने डैम्स उन्होंने क्या क्या बनवाया, और वो सबको कुछ नाम अपने एक आधार थे उनके सबसे यू नो क्लोज, जिनका आपने बताया था चाहता था वो आ जाए, उनका हाथी लेना चाहता था, ये सब जिसको बड़े ही डिप्लोमेटिकली उन्होंने रिपेल किया। एंड शी अंडरस्टूड दैट नाउ सिंस ही इज सेंडिंग मैसेजेस देयर इज गोइंग टू बी अ फाइट, एंड शी वाज ऑलरेडी रेडी। कैनन मेकिंग was another thing she wanted to do, and everyone was talking about it, but I didn't get evidence of them making cannons, you know. So this is one research I would like to see being done.
But it's in the
It's there, they have folklore में तो बड़ी दो हाथों में तलवार हो वाली रानी, you know, that poem is so intriguing। कभी नहीं सुना मैंने कि कोई दो हाथों में तलवार लेके लड़ता है। So maybe it's so committed to fight and repel। Then उनका जो आर्किटेक्चर था, उनकी बिल्डिंग्स थी, फोर्टिफिकेशन था। तो ये जो रीजन था कि रिवोल्ट क्यों नहीं होते थे, वो इसलिए थे कि पीपल वर वेल प्रोवाइडेड फॉर, एंड जो टैक्सेशन में कभी कमी नहीं थी, लोग हाथी देते थे टैक्स में, वो बड़ी हाथी की सेना थी, और सोने के सिक्के देते थे। तो यू कैन इमेजिन कितनी संपन्नता रही होगी वहाँ। ये उसका एक एग्जाम्पल है। और लोक संगीत, मूर्ति कला आदि में तो था ही। आई थिंक जो एक और जो बड़ी इम्पोर्टेंट बात यहाँ है कि हिस्ट्री में why do we read history upside down? Why don't we लटके किताब में क्यों नहीं हम इसे सीखा करते? पहला प्रयास जो शोध लगातार उसको हैमर कर रहे हैं, और ये हमें अब अपने सिलेबस में, तो इतिहास संकलन योजना से हम सब जुड़े हैं। या काफ़ी लोगों को मैं देख रही हूँ, आप सबको भी मैं इनवाइट करती हूँ, ज्वाइन करें। और इंसिडेंटली 14 तारीख को CPDHE में ही एक बहुत बड़ा महिला, राष्ट्रीय महिला इतिहासकार संगोष्ठी है, नए विधाएं, इतिहास की नई प्रवृत्तियां, लेखन की नई प्रवृत्तियां, जो इसमें ये भी शामिल था आपका इस तरह का सेमिनार, तो वो भी चर्चा करेंगे. Incidentally, it's only for ladies, so I seek your pardon, men. But ठीक है, हम बहुत सारे ऐसे इतिहास संकलन में हम.
लेकिन मैडम अभी आप जेंडर बायस के बारे में.
हाँ नहीं, जैसे वो रिजर्वेशन कर दिया ना महिला वंदन अधिनियम, तो हम भी कुछ उसी को फॉलो करते हैं कि महिलाएं आए, निकल के आने नहीं. You're not getting enough. No. That's the whole idea, to bring them out of there. So, and we also talk about the sacrifice and this. ये जो एक क्वालिटी है सैक्रिफाइस की, वो महिलाओं के साथ ही जोड़ दी जाती है. अच्छी बात है, ठीक है, but I'm sure I've seen men also sacrificing. So it's not just a female thing. हमें generalize करना पड़ेगा. So when she was struck by arrows and she was to be taken out of the field, या आपने सब पढ़ी होगी उनकी कहानी. पूरी सेना मुगलों की खड़ी है, वो अकेले हैं, सब मर गए हैं, खत्म हो चुका है और तो she just killed herself. That's such a, I mean, वो सुन के लगता है कि जौहर की कैटेगरी में है क्या इस तरह का, जब महिलाएं अपने आप को बचाने के लिए. यहाँ महिला वाला एंगल है, क्वीन का शायद नहीं है. और वो वाली बातें अगर सुनते हैं तो लगता है कि where is the narrative for जो रेजिस्टेंस की कहानी है हमारी, वो हमें क्यों नहीं ऊपर लानी चाहिए, बजाय कि जो हम विक्टर है, जो कॉन्करर है, उसकी कहानी क्यों हमेशा पढ़ते पढ़ाते. तो इस तरह के और चैप्टर्स अभी जो आज हो रहा है, इसका एक बहुत बड़ा सिंबॉलिक भी मतलब है, क्योंकि 5 साल किसी की बात करना एक बहुत बड़ी बात है. और मुझे लगता है ये हर साल होनी चाहिए उनकी जन्म शताब्दी पर. यू कैन इंस्टीट्यूट अ लेक्चर. आई कैन रिक्वेस्ट रजनी जी, maybe the university can do something on this date. इसको मार्टियर्स डे वैसे ही कहा जाता है, शायद आजकल इसको बता दिया गया है, कर दिया गया. तो एक गौरव यात्रा हुई थी अभी जून में, that is her date of birth, 22nd June to 27 June, and बीच में 24 June her date of birth. Rani Durgavati Gaurav Yatra by the MP government happened. They traveled from here to the place, and this was a symbol of because she has been portrayed as symbol of not only women, not only the Gond or the Mahubad Rajputs, but she had Chandelas, but she has been. This is a symbol of India's bravery. इस तरह का उनको portray किया गया, and her story has to be brought out in prominence, not only to boost women but to boost the whole country up and go forth. Now, बहुत सारा commemoration. I mean, Shreya was telling me कि आप उसका modern how see कहा गया है कि जो देश वीपी मेनन ने भी ये कहा था अपनी किताब में कि जो देश अपना इतिहास भूल जाता है उसका जीवन समाप्त हो जाता है, वो अपना फ्यूचर भी नहीं संभाल सकता. दिस इज अ वेरी ऑफ्ट रिपीटेड कोट. जो राष्ट्र अपना इतिहास और भूगोल से मुंह मोड़ लेता है उसका विनाश अटल. ये एक्चुअली कोटेशन. तो क्यों हमें अगर अपने राष्ट्र को आगे ले जाना है, डेवलप करने के लिए आगे बढ़ना है, तो इन चीज़ों से जोड़ने की बहुत बड़ी आवश्यकता है आज. क्योंकि ये ऐसे सर भी बता रहे थे, यूरोसेंट्रिक हिस्ट्री या यूरोसेंट्रिक स्कॉलरशिप से इनफैक्ट हर एक विषय में, नॉट जस्ट हिस्ट्री. आई मीन यूरोसेंट्रिज्म से बचने की जरूरत है. और इसीलिए ये प्रयास है इतिहास का, बहुत तेजी से आजकल प्रयास हो रहा है कि हम अपने त्रुटियों को सुधारें, भारतीय इतिहास के पठन पाठन को ठीक किया जाए, स्ट्रेट ऑन ट्रैक लाया जाए, जो डिले हो चुका है. स्वदेशी का जो आभास, कहते हैं कि नेशनलिज्म शुरू हुआ 19th सेंचुरी में, ये तो खैर हम सब आजकल बताते ही हैं, वो यूरोपियन नेशनलिज्म शुरू हुआ. इंडिया का नेशनलिज्म बहुत पुराना है, और ये जो कर रही थी रानी दुर्गावती, ये उसी की शैली में आता है. और इतिहास लेखन की भारतीय दृष्टि को अगर हम प्रमोट करने का बीड़ा उठाएं, thanks to Shodh for this initiative, and thanks to you all for giving me patient hearing. But I request everyone, since you are all teachers here, कम से कम हम अपनी क्लासों में इसको पढ़ाने का प्रयास जरूर करें, इस तरह का सीधा इतिहास. Thank you so much.
Thank you so so much ma'am for a very enlightening session. और हम सभी शोधार्थी आपसे और आज के सेशन से ये प्रेरणा लेते हैं कि हम इतिहास से मुंह नहीं मोड़ेंगे, हम इतिहास को और हिस्टोरिकल ट्रूथ को जानने की तरफ हम बढ़ेंगे और जो भी हम काम कर रहे हैं, जो भी हम शोध कर रहे हैं, उसमें जरूर उसको हिस्सा बनाएंगे। आप सभी से निवेदन है कि अगर आपके कुछ प्रश्न हैं तो आप अपना माइक ऑन करके आप अपने प्रश्न हमारे स्पीकर्स के साथ समक्ष रख सकते हैं। अगर कुछ कमेंट्स भी हैं, कुछ आपके डिस्कशन से रिलेटेड, आप वो भी बता सकते हैं। एक बार इंट्रोडक्शन
मेरा नाम प्रोफेसर राजलक्ष्मी है। मैं सोशियोलॉजी पढ़ाती हूँ जानकी देवी मेमोरियल कॉलेज और एज अ फेलो आई एम एसोसिएटेड विद मैंने हमेशा I've always had this thing in my mind that whenever people say that Swayamvar has been an empowered tool for women, my biggest question has been that is always that there is some kind of a test saying that if you pass this test, then only you will be, or rather you can marry the queen, the princess, whoever she is. So how do we look at that as a step forward? I mean, that's a very serious question, but I have a very funny answer. I don't know whether I should be speaking, maybe not politically correct also. वो question paper out हो जाता था. Because many times ऐसे I'm not just saying. वो बता देती थी भाई ये question जरा इसकी practice करो. This नहीं I mean I'm sure वो बड़े capable लोग होते थे और ऐसे बहुत incidents हैं कि वो जिसको चाहती थी वही जीत गया, वही हो गया. So that makes you think what was happening. Were they really brave men or brave suitors? One of the bravest who was the same person who she liked. That's what you're saying. Yeah. So of course they were the best. One thing that emerges out of this data. और अगर कभी हुआ होगा हमें एक्चुअली उस पर भी रिसर्च वो आंकड़ा अगर जमा करें तो पता चलेगा then she would not marry, she would run away or reject her. She had a power in her hand. That is, we need to have more such people.
We need to shift the lens size.
I think we should.
She would, yeah.
There is one very strong literary evidence about this. The marriage of Amba and Shal in Mahabharata.
Yeah.
Amba
Yes.
later became Shikhandi in the
Yeah.
That is one very good example coming. She didn't marry her,
Yeah, that is.
So
Thank you. Anyway,
see,
I'm
the whole
just wondering.
and Hani, the whole point is keep they will have their way. That was
Maybe
important.
I can
Yeah.
share something with you. If you read Maratha history, medieval Maratha country, ये जो working ladies, I would say women from the Vaishya caste or below Vaishya caste, they had the freedom to choose their husband and divorce their husband anytime they wanted to by paying one tax that was known as part down. उस प्रक्रिया को भी पाठ लाने कहते थे. तो अगर वो ठीक से उसकी तरफ देख नहीं रहा है, उसकी देखभाल नहीं कर रहा है, she could just say कि आज से मुझे आपसे कुछ व्यवहार नहीं है, मैं जाके दूसरे से शादी करूँ. तो जितना पुरुष को अधिकार है इन चीज़ों का, उतना ही अधिकार स्त्रियों को भी है. And if you see the dispensation which has been done by Shivaji's mother Jizabai on all such kind of crime and punishment related to social issues and family issues in particular, we can see that always women's side was being taken care of, and they were very tactile with their sensitivity. True. And उनका जो डेमोक्रेटिक राइट है उसको बिल्कुल भी कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं किया था.
No doubt about it. That is there.
This is not the case with the contemporary European world and the Middle Eastern or the Middle West जिसको हम कहते हैं या ईस्ट कहते हैं, उसमें ये बिल्कुल भी नहीं.
और इसको आगे बढ़ाऊँ वो हमारे वेदों शास्त्रों में है कि नारी का कैसे सम्मान किया जाए, जो कि इनग्रेन्ड है हमारे कल्चर में, हमारी संस्कृति में, हम संस्कार जिसे
Family as an institution was very strong.
No, that, yeah, I mean, at the school of sociology, we do study that. I'm not denying it. And also, they're like, you know, we always talk about 8 forms of marriage, which were very much prevalent and which were very much pro, because 8 forms of marriages, jo the, those are very much pro. This thing I'm not talking about. But I just sometimes wonder, that's it. I'm just saying that more about Swayamvar. So that is something which I always felt that more research would go into it, and then maybe that can be narrated in a different form. That's what I just want to say.
बिल्कुल उल्टा अपना सिस्टम है। बाइबल में लिखते हैं कि मैन लीड्स एंड वुमेन फॉलो, या हमारे यहाँ बिल्कुल उल्टा सिस्टम।
और हमने कहीं ना कहीं सर वो वेस्ट को लर्न बहुत कर लिया जल्दी से।
We are imitating, we are not learning, we are imitating.
That's worse.
Learning फिर भी ठीक होता है।
That's worse. तो भूलने हमें फिर से रीलर्न, एज आई सेड वी नीड टू लर्न आवर ओन। तो IKS सिस्टम जो आप बता रहे हैं वो बहुत ज़रूरी है अपने आप को ठीक करने के लिए और अपनी परंपरा से वापस जुड़ने के लिए, क्योंकि आज जो महिलाओं की स्थिति है, आप WSDC में बैठी हैं तो रोज ही कुछ न कुछ सुनाई देता है, बातें कितना आंकड़ा है, सब कुछ है यहाँ। बट क्या ऐसे क्या था, ऐसे ही था क्या? ये हमारी परंपरा है क्या? ये हमने कहाँ से ये चीज़ें सीखी? इज इट मॉडर्नाइजेशन दैट्स लीडिंग टू ऑल दैट? Where, and secondly, why, I mean, men, what are they thinking? Men की भी तो जो होने उनके skills हैं या उनके sensibilities हैं वो भी तो change हुई. It's both ways, so need to focus on that.
On that note, this was really a very good discussion. I will take the next question. Just a tiny reminder, please keep your comments or questions short. Good evening, ma'am. It was a nice discussion. I am Dr. Usha Bharti Singh. I have completed my PhD from Ambedkar University, Lucknow. And यहाँ पे इतिहास में हमें रानी दुर्गावती के बारे में पढ़ा दिया जाता है, उनका नाम आता है उसमें। बट इतिहास से ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लमेटिक अगर कुछ है तो वो है इंडिया में वुमेन स्टडीज़ का सिलेबस। मैंने वुमेन स्टडीज़ के काफ़ी सारे बुक्स पढ़े, वहाँ पे दुर्गावती का नाम फुटनोट्स में भी नहीं आता। और जब इंडियन फेमिनिस्ट या इंडिया WSTC के वुमेन स्टडीज़ में जब बुक्स में पढ़ाते हैं, उसमें हिस्ट्री में पढ़ाते हैं कैसे रामायण एक ब्राह्मणिकल टेक्स्ट है, कैसे वो बोली है, मनुस्मृति की बात जलाने की बात वुमेन स्टडीज़ टेक्स्ट में हर
टोटली एग्री,
बहुत रेलेवेंट किया गया। इंडियन हिस्टोरियंस की नहीं है, यहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम है वुमेन स्टडीज़ का टेक्स्ट किसने लिखा है, इंडियन फेमिनिस्ट नैरेटिव में कितनी प्रॉब्लम्स है, कितना सिलेक्टिव है, वो एक बहुत ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम है। और मैं इस पर बुक भी लिख रही थी और इस वजह से मैं आज यहाँ पे आई थी, मिसिंग चैप्टर्स इन वुमेन स्टडीज एंड द प्रॉब्लम विद द इंडियन फेमिनिस्ट नैरेटिव।
Very well said.
That is the basic problem.
आपकी तरह मैं भी पढ़ाती हूँ विमेन इन इंडियन हिस्ट्री, जो हमारा नहीं कोर्स है इसमें दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में। इंडियन नॉलेज वो रिवाइज हुआ है शायद कोर्स, कुछ भी नया रिवाइज नहीं हुआ। आई एम सैड टू सी कि वो तो वैसा का वैसा ही कोर्स है। वेयर इज द सिस्टम?
उनके पास
पुरानी
जो उनके 2 ही 3 टॉपिक्स होते हैं। राजस्थान में 2-3 हादसे हुए, उसमें से 2 हादसे उनको याद है, रूप कंवर सती केस और एक रेप केस तो हुआ था। 1992 में एक अजमेर शरीफ का केस हुआ था जहाँ पे 300 से ज़्यादा लड़कियों का बलात्कार हुआ था, बट वहाँ पे वुमेन स्टडीज के एक टेक्स्ट में वो मेंशन नहीं है, फुटनोट्स में भी कहीं मेंशन नहीं है।
That is how we become secular.
Yes.
And that is how the exception becomes the norm. ये भी हमने किया है, वहाँ भी we have to be careful. क्या हो रहा है?
Thank you so much for highlighting the such cases of this topic in this course, the courses that we have been reading up and down, and especially vis-a-vis the role of women. If there is any other comment or question, we can yeah, please. नमस्ते, मेरा नाम प्रज्ञा मलिक है, मैं फिलोसफी डिपार्टमेंट। अभी हमने जो जितना भी डिस्कशन हुआ वो एक हिस्टोरिकल बैकग्राउंड से हुआ, लेकिन अभी सर ने एक कोट किया था कि वहाँ की डेमोक्रेटिक जो बाउंड्रीज थी वो कैसी, क्यों हम इस चीज़ को जब हम पढ़ते हैं पॉलिटिकल साइंस में या हम कभी फिलोसफिकल बैकग्राउंड में हम फेमिनिज्म पढ़ते हैं तो हम 4 waves ऑफ फेमिनिज्म पढ़ते हैं।
लेकिन हम क्यों ये नहीं बताते कि एक वुमेन ने किस तरीके से अपनी डेमोक्रेटिक बाउंड्रीज बनाई हुई थी और किस तरीके से उनका पूरा राज्य चल रहा था। इसको हम पॉलिटिकल मतलब हमें आई थिंक इस पे विचार करना चाहिए कि हिस्टोरिकल बैकग्राउंड तो होना चाहिए, लेकिन पॉलिटिकली कैसे इतनी सारी वुमेन रही, इतनी सारी रानियां हमारे कंट्री में रही जिन्होंने बहुत अच्छे से अपने राज्य को चलाया और बहुत खुशहाल उनका मतलब अगर देखा जाए तो उनका राज्य था। तो मेरा यही था कि हमें एक पॉलिटिकल उससे भी नहीं सोचना है।
Political women in Indian history, yeah, there have been Homkaras of Odisha, कितनी सारी रानियां थी, पढ़ा होगा आपने। और हर जगह रानियों का बहुत से, भाई तो मैं जो बता रही थी, हम तो अभी आई थिंक वी हैव सीन द टिप ऑफ द आइसबर्ग, अभी बहुत कुछ और पढ़ना पढ़ाना बाकी है। और उनकी हैंडलिंग भी अपने किंगडम की अलग होती थी। व्हेन यू रीड अबाउट रानी दुर्गावती, यू फील like she was almost like a mother to everyone and everyone was happy. इसमें मैं एक प्ले पढ़ रही थी उनका, कोई देसाई सम्मान भट्ट समथिंग, यू नो दैट, क्योंकि ये सब मेरे नए टेक्स्ट हैं। तो ही वॉज राइटिंग कि दो दरबारी बात कर रहे हैं, अरे तुमने ये किया, रानी दुर्गावती देख लेगी तो क्या होगा। ऑल ऑफ यू शुड रीड, मेरे पास एक रीड लिस्ट है मेरी, समवन वांट्स आई शेयर। तो वो क्या करेगी, तो दूसरा वाला कहता है नहीं वो तो बहुत ही लिबरल रानी है, अच्छा है। नहीं तुम चाय पानी का भी, यू नो दे वर टॉकिंग अबाउट करप्ट प्रैक्टिसेस, तो चाय पानी की भी बात गलती से मत करना, वो तुम पकड़े जाओगे। तो दूसरा हाँ ये बात तो शी वॉज स्ट्रिक्ट ऑल्सो, शी वॉज फर्म, शी वॉज फेयर, but she was at the same time affectionate, and you know, so this sort of handling may be only women. I mean, I shouldn't be saying it's only women, but इस तरह की चीज़ें हुई हैं जिससे किंगडम जेल्ड टुगेदर, दे डिड नॉट फॉल अपार्ट, नो वन वांटेड टू गो अवे फ्रॉम देयर, डिस्पाइट द फैक्ट कि कर हैं वो बड़ी स्ट्रिक्ट है, ये भी बात हो रही है। सो दे हैड अ वे ऑफ हैंडलिंग विच वी नीड टू ब्रिंग आउट, हाउ देयर हैव बीन पॉलिटिकल विमेन सो मैनी, तो मे बी उनको भी एक मेन स्ट्रीमिंग ऑफ विमेन बहुत ज़रूरी है इन द हिस्ट्री, वेयर दे आर मिसिंग हिस्ट्री टेक्स्ट।
On this note, okay, that's last
So,
question.
no,
yes,
such an interesting topic.
Namaste, my name is Prashant. I teach political science in KMC. So, I have a question since we are sitting in front of historians. I have a question that when the historian starts writing history, or when he or she intends to write history, as we see that we have dark figures in name of Rani Durgavati, we have university in name of Rani Durgavati. We have so many different discussions in name of Rani Durgavati, but we still lack that discourse in the academics. We have heard that Rani Durgavati has been mentioned only in the footnotes. There is not much discourse that is there. So, what are the challenges in front of a historian when he or she intends to write history from the perspective of women? There are many challenges, biases वगैरह होते हैं, but वो एक इतिहासकार के सामने समस्याएं हैं। एक women perspective से history लिखने के लिए specific चुनौतियां भी कुछ होती हैं। अगर ऐसा कुछ है तो आप
और आप तो डाक टिकट और उसकी बात कर रहे हैं, उनकी ट्रेन, उनका शिप है उनके नाम से, सेंचुरी अभी रिसेंटली टाइगर सेंचुरी 7वीं 55th इन द कंट्री, ये सब भी बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है उनका लेगेसी। बट हिस्टोरियन के सामने सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज, अगर मैं फिर आप उमेश जी आप भी शायद कुछ बोल, सोर्सेज ही तो चैलेंज है ना, वो नहीं। देन एक विल टू राइट अबाउट विमेन जिसे हम जेंडर कहते हैं मे बी, और जेंडर इतिहास में महिलाओं की एब्सेंस बहुत है ही, शुरू से ही है, वो सिर्फ हमारे ही देश में नहीं है। और हम मॉडर्न कॉन्टेक्स्ट की बात करें आजकल, क्योंकि हम कॉलोनाइज्ड होके यहाँ बैठे हैं, तो जैसे सर ने कहा था आप भी,
हिस्टोरियन के सामने चैलेंज ये है सद्य स्थिति में कि भारत के किसी विषय पे संशोधन करने के लिए यहाँ का इतिहासकार मान्यता लेता है ऑक्सफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी में जाके वहाँ पे पीएचडी प्रोग्राम में एडमिशन लेने, या ये यूनिवर्सिटी में जाके इंडिया के बारे में करना। दैट इज द फर्स्ट प्रॉब्लम आई हैव विथ माय स्टूडेंट्स। ठीक है, अच्छे स्टूडेंट मेरे पास आते हैं, सिनॉप्सिस बड़ी बढ़िया बनाते हैं, वही सिनॉप्सिस लेके कॉमनवेल्थ लेके भाग जाते हैं। अब वहाँ जाके एक भी आर्काइव नहीं है जो इंडियन हिस्ट्री पे आपको कुछ बताएगा। वहाँ जाके 4-5 थियोरेटिकल पेपर्स के आधार पे पीएचडी पूरी करते हैं, और उन्हीं की किताब पढ़ के हम लोग उसी को यहाँ पे एक क्लिक के अंदर फोकलोर की तरह घुमाते हैं। तो आई हैव बीन पॉइंटिंग आउट अगेन एंड अगेन, एंड पीपल डिसलाइक मी फॉर दैट, Most of the historians dislike me for that, because I say again and again, in the last 65 years, we have not done history, we have done only historiography. इंटेंशन और मोटिव प्लांट किया गया है, और वो इंटेंशन मोटिव इस तरीके से प्लांट किया है कि इट सर्व्स द कॉलोनियल वर्ल्ड. उन्हीं की पब्लिशिंग एजेंसीज है, वही पॉइंट आउट करती है, और वही इतिहास जो है उनके पब्लिशिंग एजेंसीज को जो सूट करता है वो यहाँ का. सिंपल बात बताऊंगा, ICSSR में मैंने एक प्रोजेक्ट किया, आप बैठिए, डेक्कन इन ट्रांजिशन, उस पर बहुत अच्छा ये निकला, रिपोर्ट आया, एंड ICSSR ने उसको पब्लिकेशन के लिए भेज दिया. तो वो कॉपी उठाई पब्लिकेशन की, रूटलेज. ये इस किताब के पहले 2 महीने वो भी कॉपी आई है, न्यूयॉर्क से पब्लिश हुआ है रूटलेज. तो बहुत लोग कहते हैं कि अभी तुमने रूटलेज से पब्लिश किया है, इसका मतलब यू आर एस्टैब्लिश स्कॉलर. अब पब्लिशर बताएगा मैं एस्टैब्लिश स्कॉलर हूँ या नहीं, ठीक है ना. मेरे 24 साल जो मैंने उसमें डाले वो नहीं बताया. कीमत रखी 16,000 रुपये, इसका मतलब मेरा काम आपको किसी को पढ़ने देना ही नहीं. किंडल पे रखा कीमत 6,000. आप समझ रहे हैं ना प्रॉब्लम क्या है. इस किताब को मैं कहीं से भी पब्लिश कर सकता था, बढ़िया से बढ़िया लोगों से पब्लिश कर सकता था, लाइन में लगे. लेकिन मेरे मन में वही डर था कि ये छाप तो देंगे,
पढ़ेगा कौन, कैसे
लेकिन ये मुझे बर्बाद करेंगे,
पढ़ने नहीं देंगे किसी को,
क्योंकि मेरे विचार इनको प्रमोट ही नहीं करने हैं. इसलिए उन्होंने ये खेल किया. समझ में आ रहा है. इसलिए मैंने ये इंडियन पब्लिशर से किया. ये किताब अभी वो 1200 रुपये में बेच रहा है. मैं कुछ नहीं ले रहा हूँ उससे, मैं ना रॉयल्टी के पेपर साइन किसी से किया ना किया. इन 2 किताबों से पहले भी मेरी एक फ्रेंच सोर्सेज पे 6 वॉल्यूम निकले हैं, एंड आई सॉ टू इट दैट दोज 6 वॉल्यूम्स इन फ्रेंच पर प्राइमरी सोर्सेज गेट पब्लिश्ड इन 6 यूरोपियन लैंग्वेजेस. उन्हीं की बात मैं उन्हीं के अलग अलग लैंग्वेजेस में बताना चाह रहा हूँ. तो दीज आर द चैलेंजेस वी शुड टेक अप एंड डिसाइड ऑन आवर एंटरप्रेन्योरियल स्किल्स टू टॉक विद द वर्ल्ड. समझ में आ रहा है आपको. हमें हमारे मार्केटिंग स्किल्स बदलने पड़ेंगे. सोचना है कि शिवाजी ने क्या किया होता, दुर्गावती ने क्या किया होता ऐसी प्रॉब्लम में. शिवाजी से मिठाचा मामला लाख मौला था. इंग्लिश सॉल्ट आ रहा है, पोर्चुगीज सॉल्ट आ रहा है, डच सॉल्ट आ रहा है, फाइन है, कम कीमत पे बेच रहे हैं, तो लोग मराठों का सॉल्ट नहीं ले रहे. तो शिवाजी क्या करते हैं, कस्टम ड्यूटी बढ़ाओ सबकी, सॉल्ट सिर्फ मेरा ही बिकना चाहिए, मेरा पैसा यहीं पे रिवॉल्व होना चाहिए, बाहर नहीं जाना चाहिए. दिस हैज टू बी द पॉलिसी. उस वक्त जनता को भी साथ देनी पड़ती है, क्योंकि जनता को पता होना चाहिए कि मैं जो 10 रुपए या 20 रुपए उसमें लगा रहा हूँ, उससे ये पैसा यहीं रहने वाला है और वापस मेरे पास आने वाला है. ये पैसा यहाँ से यूरोप नहीं जाने वाला है. इतनी अक्ल की जनता भी होनी चाहिए, इतनी अक्ल का स्टूडेंट भी होना चाहिए. दैट इज द प्रॉब्लम. ठीक है ना. हैंडीकैप बन रहे हैं हम लोग, लिटरेट हो रहे हैं लेकिन हैंडीकैप बन रहे हैं. हमें एनलाइटन बनना है, ऑर्गेनिक बनना है. हिस्ट्री से हमें देखना है कि प्रॉब्लम्स एग्जैक्टली क्या है, एंड वी हैव टू फाइंड आउट द सॉल्यूशंस विद इन द इंडियन वर्नाकुलर्स, नॉट थ्रू द एक्सपोज्ड थियरीज ऑफ यूरोपियंस की इसका ये हो सकता है या इसका ये है. दैट दे शुड नॉट टेल अस व्हाट वी आर एंड व्हाट वी वर एंड व्हाट आवर कल्चर लुक्स लाइक एंड व्हाई वी गेट अम्यूज्ड and they are entertaining us. No, that should not be the answer. That is the Indian way of life.
Thank you so much, dear speakers and lovely audience. It was a very interesting and stimulating discussion. And now I move forward with this event. Given the constraints of time, we will not be able to take any further comment or question. Now I invite Durgavati ji for his kind words and to also highlight Shod's effort in celebrating this rich legacy of valiant Murjana queen across
ये बंद नहीं कर रहे हैं.
ये चाय
बंद भी कर दो.
इसी के लिए बोल दीजिए आप.
पूरा रिमोट वहाँ लगा हुआ है.
It's not only cold, it is shivering cold.
Kind of shivering.
Correct works. Well organized. Well organized. Correct works.
AC was working on the same temperature for last 2 hours, but we realized that it is shivering cold only at this moment because the intellectual discussion was almost the heat of the intellectual discussion was almost about to expire, and also our patience as well. So we enjoyed this session really. This is one of the very offbeat topics, very less discussed. Shod has always put effort to highlight those issues, those topics which are part of our daily experiences, which are part of our social experiences. But as Sir was saying, the Western theorists have never acknowledged them. So the theory has to be challenged by experience. Our self-experience, the self-experience of our ancestors, our fathers, our mothers, our grandmothers, their experience is the site of our history. And that has to be seen in that manner. We need to attack all the efforts of superimposition of the current lenses of theories on our past. So this is the methodology which Shod has always tried to encourage among the young researchers. We work in 26 provinces currently, and today, only on the just to mark the occasion of Rani Durgavati's anniversary, the Gujarat unit of Shod has announced a national seminar on Sanatan discourse in Sanatan traditions in tribal discourse. So 15th of October is going to be the last date for the submission of the abstracts. I invite all the enthusiastic researchers to participate in this. And the Shod Delhi team, which has organized this program, this was a very brilliantly organized program, which was totally focused on the content, and we had wonderful speakers. We have two historians and Rajni ma'am who has background in law.
Who need to learn. And
No,
learnt a lot.
You always
And
need
learnt
you
a lot.
always need a judge to keep the historians online.
So, since history has always been a subject, like Sir was saying, a samurai sword, two-sided sword, we always need the protection of law. So, ma'am's presence was very graceful here. I would like to congratulate Shod Delhi team once again, and these words I would like to hand over the mic to Megha.
Thank you so much, sir, for this very laconic, brief observation and for your motivating words and for briefing the audience about Shod's efforts and activities across Bharat. Now, I would bring this event to a close. So, for that, I will request Dr. Ashwini Kumar Dev, Assistant Professor, Department of Environment Science, University of Delhi, who is also an honorary research fellow at WSDC, University of Delhi, to offer vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Ashwini, Assistant Professor, Department of Environmental Studies. So I feel very honored and incredibly privileged to say vote of thanks on behalf of Shod and WSDC. I must tell that must say thanks to WSDC to provide this platform to organizing such a wonderful event where we are promoting Bharat and Bhartiyata. And I must say thanks to Professor Rajni. She has been a very wonderful, successful mayor of Delhi. Delhi is a very vibrant place, and she has been a successful mayor also. She has been a successful professor also, and on this vibrant university, she has been playing a great role and effort in bringing peace in the university in the form of chief proctor. So we said we must, and she with us. So this is really great honor for all of us. And in the form of historian, two great historians, Sir Kadam and Professor Mishra. We must say thanks to them, to all these historians, because they have been, bringing a right discourse among us. We have come now. I heard Musa and so many scholars. They are how they are bringing right things by learning from these historians. So they are really, we learn so many things as a common man also. Today they enlightened us at how we should learn and how we should, admire Padmavati. So we should not only, as Sir said, that we should not only see her to sit on a horse and use a sword. So many symbols with the lady, and we should be, privileged to learn from that great lady. So, sir, I feel privileged to say thanks to you and to Sir Mr. being with us and enlightened us, and we all have learned a lot from both of you. In the last, we must say thanks to SWORD team, because the SWORD team has been working since long time to bring Bharat and Bharatita among us, and they are organizing such a great event. So we must say thanks to them, and we also support to SWORD team, because as SWORD will be stronger and stronger, our Bharat and Bharatiya will be stronger and stronger. I feel privileged to be part. I am not Karyakarta of the SWORD, but I feel privileged to be part of the SWORD team. So thank you very much, SWORD team. Thank you all the staffs of the WSDC. And last but not the least, we must say thanks to Professor Payal Mahu. He is a visionary, he is a visionary leader. I'm the part of the Rajguru College also. I have seen her, I have been working with her. So she is a great visionary leader, and she has been working to bring the WSDC to bring the right discourse at this platform. And this is one of the great achievement today, that she brings her team here to do the right discourse. And at the last, I remind Professor Karan that I was the part of Mahanadi hostel, when he was wasn't there. So,
मैंने आपके रूम में तो रेड नहीं किया
सर वो बताएंगे नहीं ना अभी आपको
he had been a great administrator also in this venue, and today I heard first time he's been as a great historian. So thank you very much to all the scholars, all the guest speakers, and lastly to all the audience who patiently heard to all the speakers and you are with us. So thank you very much.
Especially to Shod. A vote of thanks is also due on part of Shod. And for that, I would request Shreya Malik ji, Shod convener, to please address it.
Thank you, Megha. Thank you, everyone, first of all, for coming here and sparing time and bearing the AC for 2 good hours and enjoying and making us learn also. Just to thank from the start, we have Dr. Alok Singh ji. He's here with us today. Despite his commitment. Thank you for joining us, sir. So I would just do a very brief vote of thanks for everyone here who've been a part of this symposium, helped us conceive this idea and bring it to its conception and help bring Rani Durgavati in a discourse that we attempted today to do. So from Shodh Bharat, I would again mention Dr. Alok Singh ji. He is our Pramukh. Then our convener, Shashank Tiwari ji. My lovely team, Shodh Delhi, Aanchal ji, Prashant ji, Sachin ji, and we have Ajay ji, Medha ji, Pooja ji, Harshita ji on anchoring, and on Pradarshini that we have displayed outside. So when you guys go and have some refreshments, we have also arranged that. Thanks to our lovely team of WSDC for also collaborating with us. From there, I would like to mention some few names: Ritu Raj sir, Dr. Nupur ma'am, Dr. Rajdeep sir, Smita ma'am, Dr. Ashwani sir, and our lovely speakers in the last, Professor Rajni Abhi ji, Professor Yutika ma'am ji, and Professor Umesh Kadam ji, and not the least, I think, Professor Payal ma'am, who's always been a guiding light and who's always promoted and supported us and encouraged us for such endeavors and always held us. So, and all our professors and speakers all through. So thank you so much for coming, and we do have our Facebook Live also going on both the channels, WSDC, so you can all rewatch all this and you can like and share, subscribe to our social media channels and watch out for such more upcoming events from Shodh Delhi. Namaste sabhi ko, Vande Mataram, Bharat Mata ki jai.
As per our customary ritual, we bring our event we draw our event to a close with Kanyan Mantra. So I would request everybody who knows Kanyan Mantra can.
I'm so sorry, I missed our eminent guest, Professor Praveen Garg. Thank you for sparing time and coming and joining us.
I request everybody to join us for Kalyan Mantra. As I sing, if you know, you can sing it. We can all sing it. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kasyat dukha bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you so much.